How about now? How about now? Can anybody hear me now? Just because you can't hear you don't mean you can't double tap, hit the like button. You can still hit the like button. How about now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you? Perfect, 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 perfect. Shout out to Sir Ism, man. Shout out to Sir. I ain't seen Sir Ism in a minute, man. I don't be on the panels no more. I don't do the panels no more. We do the live streams, man. We don't do the panels no more. Thank you, Mo. Mofo 20. Mofo. We're gonna talk about legalization. Legalize it. We're gonna talk about Trump. It's not legalization. It's what Trump did with it's a big deal though. If you think about, I have a perspective on the drug boats of Venezuela and the crime bill and how politicians manifest the ideology of tough on crime. My argument has been that most politicians, and specifically Democrat politicians, have manifested tough on crime as arresting Americans, putting Americans in jail. Part of that, if you remember, I don't know how many of you listen to hip hop, but Little Bootsy went to Angola. Angola is a plantation in Baton Rouge, New Orleans. It is a plantation prison. And in the South, you still can get several years for marijuana. So when we talk about tough on crime, when we talk about make America great again, when we talk about America first, and when we talk about, I debate all the time how they say Donald Trump is racist, but every day I can bring up evidence that Donald Trump is not racist. One of my biggest evidence is that this reclassification of marijuana is going to disproportionately affect Black people in the South who were getting 7 in 2025. I know it may be hard to believe, but in 2025 there were still people being arrested for small amounts of marijuana and doing large amount of time on our dime. So when we talk about Doge, when we talk about taxes, when we talk about how much money is being spent on the fighting the drugs, on the war on drugs, then we got to talk about arresting people for small amounts of marijuana. And if Donald Trump was racist, then why didn't why didn't Obama? If Obama understood how the classification of marijuana affected Black Americans, and Obama is your Black king, Obama is the king of Wakanda, why didn't Obama, after 8 years, change the classification? Trump did it very easily. He changed the classification. This is going to disproportionately affect Blacks. Blacks were the ones who were getting arrested and going to the penitentiary. Blacks were getting arrested. Mike Hurd, FBA 513. Mike, I know you like this, what we spitting this morning. We are starting off with the reclassification of marijuana. I know you like this understanding because Mike and I both are Black conservatives. And every day I got to deal with people telling me because I'm Black, I have to be Democrat, right? They see my skin color and they think Democrat. Well, I need to tell people the Democrats never reclassified marijuana. The Democrats were okay with Blacks who are supposed to be Democrats going to jail for 5 to 10 years over small amounts of marijuana, right? But you want me to vote Democrat. And all I ever do is ask, why vote Democrat? Why vote Democrat? You can give me no reason to vote Democrat. You can give me no reason. Double tap, everybody. Double tap. Is everybody coming in? We're starting off strong. Great podcast today. Let's go, Trump. They don't do drugs. Let's go, everybody. Double tap, hit the like button. Double tap, hit the like button. Like, share, subscribe. It's so important from the beginning. It's so important from the beginning that we get our likes up, that we don't be lazy. It's really easy on the cell phone. You hit the cell phone screen 2 times. If you're on your computer, you hit the thumbs up. We got to get it right from the beginning. We got to get it. And Mike, thank you for that gift. Shout out to you, Mike. Double tap. Join. Mike, you should have a membership. But we starting off with Trump reclassification, right? And how that disproportionately affects Blacks, because Blacks were the one going to prison for 5 and 10 years over small amounts of this drug that has been legalized. And to the point, now when we say legalize it, we started off, legalize it. Now, it's a lot of things going on with this new reclassification. Did you guys hear about, was it UPS workers or was it USPS workers who can now, truck drivers, was it Walmart or was it Amazon, who are allowing the truck drivers to smoke but 12 hours in between the shift. When you reclassify this thing, it now becomes more like alcohol. You have less persecution, right? Less. Now, this is what I'm saying. Rabbit, watch out of here, Rabbit. We don't do that. So check this out. So reclassification, I think it's to Schedule 3, right? Schedule 3 now. So now no more felonies. This is going to affect our tax base. Why are we doing Doge, right? Why are we shrinking entitlements? Why has entitlements, why is there more requirements going into 2026? Does everybody know the ACA Affordable Care Act subsidies are not getting extended? Does everybody understand that? Majority Leader Mike Johnson shut down the vote. This is a concern. Trump news, giving Democrats the boo-hoo-hoo blues. Do you know that Mike Johnson, Majority Leader of the House, does anybody understand politics? Do you know you're watching a political podcast? Mike Johnson shut down the vote. There will be no Affordable Care Act subsidy vote until next year, 2026. That means the Affordable Care Act subsidies will expire. Do you understand? This is 2026. Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy New Year. You need to be prepared for the big, beautiful bill. The big, beautiful bill is going to be implemented incrementally. Does anybody know that? Does anybody know that? No, because the Democrat media is not telling you what you need to know for 2026. The big, beautiful bill is going to be implemented incrementally. What was the last update I gave you on the big, beautiful bill? We're talking about reclassification. We're talking about, hey, what you got to say? It's a terrific Trump to $18 trillion coming into the country. Tariffs have lowered drug prices. Did you hear Trump talking in the Oval Office about tariffs? Today is a terrific Tuesday. I took tariff, I mixed it with terrific, and I came up with terrific. Why is it terrific? Because 1776 is going to the military. A $2,000 stimulus check is coming to you in 2026. But that's not all. It's going to be some pain. It's going to be some pain. You need to be prepared. The Affordable Care Act subsidies are going to expire in a matter of days. Mike Johnson closed the House. Do you know the House is on Christmas break? Who knew the House right now is on Christmas break? There is no vote on the Affordable Care Act subsidies until 2026. That means they're going to expire. What does that say about Obamacare? Can we have an honest talk this morning? I want some people to talk with me honestly. Obamacare came in 2008. President Obama was elected in 2008. It is 2026. Can anybody do the math? How many years? Let's say 2 more years. That's 2010. That's 16. That's almost 20 years. It's been almost 20 years since Obamacare. Can we have an honest discussion this morning that Obamacare has not been fixed or completed to the point where it's prepared to hand to the American people in over 20 years? Do you understand the mathematics behind Obamacare? Obamacare was never what he promised. Obamacare was never what he promised. You never got single payer. You never got the health care that you dreamed about in your liberal democratic mind, the health care that Israel has, America doesn't have. You never got that health care, right? Can we start there? Obama ran on promising you something you never got. You never truly got the health care you have in your mind. In 2026, Democratic Americans have in their head an idea of a health care that they never got. That's why, you know why it's called Obamacare? So that you keep the dream alive. It's like Santa Claus coming down the chimney of 8 billion homes. Santa Claus is not coming down the chimney, and Barack Obama, the Black Santa, never delivered. Barack Obama, the Black Santa, never delivered. We have to have a talk this morning. This is not conjecture. This is extremely serious. In 2008, he brought the Affordable Care Act, what you know as Obamacare. He never got what he promised. You never got what you promised. So instead, we got a hodgepodge of the Mitt Romney bill that exists. I'm sorry. Did I give up too much? Of the Mitt Romney bill, of the Republican crafted Mitt Romney. Did you know Obamacare was the Mitt Romney Republican crafted bill that they have in Utah? I I'm sorry, I didn't want to break anybody's heart. Did you know that Obamacare, you don't see anything. You don't see any, the sleight of hand, you don't see anything. Did you know Obamacare was the Mitt Romney bill? But you didn't get that. You didn't get the Mitt Romney bill. You didn't get what he promised, the Democrat liberal fantasy of free health care. You didn't get that. What did we get? We got a hodgepodge, and we made healthcare insurance companies trillionaires, not millionaires, not billionaires. We made them trillions of dollars because Obamacare was a hodgepodge of shitballs. Yes, it was a hodgepodge of shitballs. It never was done. It never was what we promised, right? So Obama, even after it passed, said, hey, American people, you have to help me. Help me make Obamacare what you want it to be. But we didn't write it. We're not politicians. You're the president. It was your bill. You championed it. They call it Obamacare, and it wasn't fixed. It wasn't complete. Do you understand what I mean by Obamacare from 2008 to 2026 is not done? Wow. Let me substantiate my argument. What is he talking about? Why is he yelling? Why does he look so good with that quarter zip and that diamond D and those Ferragamo glasses? Let me substantiate my argument. What I mean by Obamacare not being done is that the Affordable Care Act subsidies expire in days. Tick, 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 tick. Boom! Your wallet is going to blow up in a matter of days. Why? Because Biden made the Obamacare subsidies temporary, but no one ever talks to you about why Obamacare needed subsidies and the mathematics behind Obamacare in 2024 not being solvent and needing government money. I'm not gaslighting. I'm substantiating my argument. Obamacare could not sustain itself. It needed subsidies as of the last administration. Just 5 minutes ago, not going back to 2008, I said Obamacare was not a good bill. It was a shitty bill. It became a worse law and continued to need Band-Aid on top of Band-Aid on top of Band-Aid. Now, why didn't the Democrats, after 8 years of Obama, 4 years of Biden, 12 years total, fix the shitty bill? Why didn't they? They had 12 years. You had one job. No one can talk about this honestly. Obamacare 2008. 12 years of Democratic leadership, and they admit the bill was not finished. The bill was not perfect. It was not what we promised, and we needed to continue to make it better. But we gave them 12 years. We gave them 12 years, and what did Biden do? Biden made the subsidies temporary. Can we be honest about what's going to happen in a couple days? Biden made the subsidies temporary. This is what I mean by substantiating my argument. Why was Obamacare in need of subsidies and in need of fixing, needing a Band-Aid? And if Obamacare needed a Band-Aid 15 fucking years later, why was it made temporary? Why did the Democrats do a temporary Band-Aid? Why didn't Biden and the Democrats, when they had the majority, like Trump has the majority now, why didn't Biden and the Democrats, when they had the majority, fix Obamacare? Finally, after 15 fucking years, fix it, bro. Fix it, bro. Fix it, bro. You had 12 years, bro. Fix it, bro. Why did you make the subsidies temporary? Why are grandmothers afraid of the subsidies expiring in days? Well, Biden made the subsidies temporary. You have to ask, if I'm a Democrat, I vote Democrat, Kamala Harris wants to run again. I can't make this up. Kamala Harris wants to run again. Kamala Harris, she didn't give you federal abortion. Remember, Kamala Harris let Roe versus Wade get kicked down the ass. She didn't give you federal abortion. She didn't give you health care, but she wants to run again. She didn't close the border. She started a war with the Ukraine. Why were we in the war with Ukraine? Well, Putin had one request. Putin said, Ukraine can't be part of NATO. The Ukraine can't. What did Kamala Harris do? Kamala Harris goes to the Munich Security Council and says Ukraine has a right and a desire to be part of NATO. She gave that speech several fucking times. That's why we're in a war with the Ukraine. But instead of fixing Obamacare, they had 4 years. They never fixed Obamacare. And when they passed the subsidies, they made them temporary. So now in a couple days, Obamacare finally dies, bro. Can I get a hand clap in the chat? In a couple days, Obamacare finally dies. And I don't want to hear no debate. There is no debate. It's been 15 years. Somebody put in the chat 17 years and Obamacare is still not solving. It dies on New Year's. On New Year's 2026, your black Wakanda king is no more. Get that shit out of here. Obamacare is done. I don't want to hear no more hope and change rhetoric. He never came through. We have to be honest about the fake black Santa Claus. Today, I'm the black Santa Claus. I'm coming down the chimney with presents for everybody. For all my Republican degenerate MAGA deplorables, I got Christmas gifts, bitch, coming down the tree. Woo! Trump just dropped drug prices. So boo-hoo-hoo, boo-hoo-hoo. Trump secures drug price cuts with 9 pharma giants. Because people going to say, well, what you going to do about it, Republicans? What you going to do about it, Republicans? Trump secures drug price cuts with 9 pharma giants. On December 19, Trump's administration reached agreements with 9 major drug companies. Agman, Bristol Myers, Squibb, Behringer, Genentech, Gilead Sciences, GSK, Merck, Novartis, Sanofi to apply for the most favored nation pricing, matching the lowest rates from other developed nations. Wait a minute. For the first time in history, wait a minute, stop the presses. For the first time in history, an American president is negotiating on behalf of the people. Wait a minute. Instead of Barack Obama promising you, double tap at the like button, double tap at the like button, double tap. Not enough likes, man. Double tap at the like button. Instead of Democratic hopes and dreams. Remember all the hope bumper stickers? Like, share, and subscribe. Happy holidays, MAGA. Thank you for that super chat. See a super chat? Send a super chat. Trump is not giving you fictitious black Santa Claus. Trump is giving you lower drug prices. Trump is not giving you a promise of a health care bill that never materialized. Can we have a real talk this morning? I said a health care bill that never materialized. A health care bill that never materialized. Woo, that MAGA. Let's talk about it this morning. Trump secures drug price cuts with 9 pharma giants. The Trump administration reached agreements with 9 major drug companies. Bristol Myers, Behringer, Gilead Sciences, GSK, Mike Hurd, FBA 513 with that 99-cent super chat. Salute to you, my brother. See a super chat, send a super chat, double tap, hit the like button. When you subscribe to the channel, you're going to get a plus sign. That plus sign going to give you the option to join the channel, to support the channel, get access to special information. If the members get first-hand information, you want to get this information before anybody else because nobody else reports the news like Perfect on the podcast. Join the podcast. Get the information first. On December 19th, the Trump administration made agreements with Merck. How many people know about Merck? I do. I work in healthcare and I work in biotech. Novartis, GSK, Gilead Sciences, Genentech. Genentech is in Northern California. Does Merck have an office out here? But we got Genentech, we got Day Labs, we got the place where I work in Napa. It's a whole. I told you I have an intimate relationship with the FDA and the FDA filing, so I'm familiar with these drug companies, and I'm very proud of Trump and his negotiation skills. Genentech and so forth. Now look, check this out. Nation, he got a brand new thing called favored nation pricing, matching the lowest rates from other developed nations. patients gain access through state Medicaid and the Trump RX website. I told you, write this down last week because your grandmother is going to need this information because the Affordable Care Act subsidies are going to expire on New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve, Barack Obama, the Obamacare dies. So instead of believing in Black Santa Claus, you better get this new information. Instead of believing in Black Santa Claus, you better get this new information. Trump RX website with examples like Plaxvid falling from $256 to $16. Bristol Myers Razataz from $1,500 to $200. Gilead's Eposca to $24,000 to $2,000. I can't believe there's drug therapies that cost $24,000, but Trump has negotiated, so that means Americans were paying $24,000, and somewhere in the world, other humans. Not red, white, and blue MAGA humans, but other humans only had to pay $2,000. That means we pay like 200% more than the whole globe. The firms also committed $150 billion in U.S. manufacturing and stockpile donations, receiving a first-term policy through tariff leverage. Today is a terrific Tuesday. Today is a terrific Tuesday. I said $18 trillion from tariffs, 1776, $1,776,000 to the troops, $12 billion to the farmers, and the tariffs is we got 3 more years of tariffs. Who knows when the tariffs started? We've collected this much money since when? Who knows when Donald Trump tariffs? Today is a terrific Tuesday. Take tariff, put it with terrific. You got terrific. I said the 43-day shutdown, the troops didn't get anything. Jasmine Crockett got paid, AOC got paid, Chuck Schumer got paid, the troops didn't get paid. Remember, AOC wanted to keep the government shut down. Chuck Schumer shut it down, then saying the same CR. So to pay back our military, to say thank you for the military, and you know what else? TSA and air traffic controllers deserve a bonus also because everybody still was on planes during the shutdown. The only reason you were able to fly during the government shutdown is because they showed up to work even though they did not get paid. They showed up to work. Can we get a Merry Christmas and a props to all of the TSA agents and the ATCs, the air traffic controllers who showed up to work even though they didn't get paid. Jasmine Crockett got paid. Every day of the 43 shutdown, every Democrat still got their check. So for Christmas, Trump is giving the military $1,776. For Christmas, Trump is giving the military $1,776 based on tariff revenue. When did we start collecting tariff revenue? All of the people in the chat right now, when did we start collecting? What was the date we start collecting tariff revenue? It starts with the 8. It's August. August 1st, we started collecting tariff revenue. So just since August, we have given back $12 billion to the farmers. We have given $1,700 to the armed services. And we are planning $2,000 stimulus checks going out in 2026 based on tariff revenue on a terrific Tuesday. And today, I am warning my audience that the Obamacare subsidies are expiring. Obamacare dies. Obamacare dies. Obamacare dies on December 31st and entering a new era of Trump Medicare. Obamacare dies. It was the right. Mike Johnson is going to go down in MAGA history because Mike Johnson is a big badass. Mike Johnson closed down the House and said we're not voting until January. You know what that said? That means Obamacare dies. The Republicans Obamacare is dead. There is no vote. We're going to vote on it in 2026, but it won't matter. It won't matter. What happens on December 31st will end the era. On December 31st, an era will come to an end. Obamacare will be done, and you cannot lie about it anymore. It never was solvent. It never was complete. It needed Band-Aid after Band-Aid. Biden made the subsidies temporary. And when Biden made the subsidies temporary, he signed the death certificate. When Joe Biden made the Obamacare subsidies temporary instead of permanent, he signed a death note on Obamacare because he knew the Republican president would let Obamacare fizzle and die. Now, what do we have to replace Obamacare? No, Mike Johnson did his big one. Mike Johnson did his big one. What's the congressional math? There is 219 Republicans to 213 Democrats. Mike Johnson held the party line. You know who did not hold the party line? Chuck Schumer. Mike Johnson said no vote. Mike Johnson said no vote. Mike Johnson held the party line. Mike Johnson is a badass. Mike Johnson said Obamacare has to die. We can't vote on it. We have to let Obamacare die. It's not our bill. We didn't make it a shitty bill. We didn't create the bill. We didn't make the subsidies temporary. Let the Democrats live with their L. Losers! Boo-hoo-hoo. This is Trump news. Trump news, giving Democrats the boo-hoo-hoo blues. See, a lot of you are just learning this. A lot of Democrats are upset. They are surprised. They have never interpreted the facts properly. What? And then we're going to run on this in 2026. We are running on the death of Obamacare in 2026. Look for me. Look for me. Watch me. Watch me in 2026. We are running on the death of Obamacare. Yeah, this is another Democratic L, a Democratic failure, just like Afghanistan, just like the border, just woo, woo, woo. This is another Democratic L. And I know you can't stand it. I know you can't stand it because the reality of what it truly is, the reality of what is truly happening, if you look back over 2025, only 12 months, 1 year into a 4-year term, Donald Trump kicked so much ass, the Democrats got 10 years to try to recover. People think the Democrats have a chance in 2026. The Democrats haven't done nothing all year. They have nothing to run on in 2026. It is a shit show for the Democrats in 2026. And we are running on victory after victory after victory after victory. Who saw Dave Chappelle's new comedy special? Dave Chappelle, brand new. Go watch it right now. Everybody, Netflix, Dave Chappelle got a brand new comedy special for Christmas. He has a joke. Dave Chappelle is from Washington, D.C. Do you know Washington, D.C. is where Big Balls was carjacked and attacked by 3 young black youth. A 14-year-old black girl and 2 15-year-old black boys attacked Big Balls, who worked for Doge, at 2 o'clock in the morning in Washington, D.C. Did you know those 3 black teenagers who attacked Big Balls at 3 o'clock in the morning were let free by a black female liberal judge? A lot of people wonder, hey, what happened to Big Balls in Washington, D.C.? Because that's where all of the National Guard and ICE kicked off. The National Guard and ICE kicked off in Washington, D.C. Why did we deploy National Guard in Washington, D.C.? Well, because one of the employees from Doge was walking a female to her car from a party at 2 o'clock in the morning. On the corner across the street were a gang of black teenagers. It was 2 o'clock in the morning. Somebody should be asking why were 14-year-old black teenagers on the streets at 4 o'clock. And I don't know, but that's the facts. Big Balls is a 22-year-old young man. He works for the president. He was picked by Elon Musk. He's a member of the Doge team. He's walking a young lady to her car. They just finished a party. You know, 20-year-olds have a party. They had a little drink. He's walking a young lady to his car. He's attacked by a 14-year-old black girl, a 15-year-old black boy, and another 15-year-old black boy. They almost beat him to death. They tried to take her car. He successfully saves the girl, put her in the car, but Big Balls gets beat. He almost gets beat to death. The individuals are arrested. The 14-year-old girl and 2 15-year-old black boys, they were let free. The black female liberal judge let them go back home and go back to school. Trump deploys the National Guard to Washington, D.C. Now, Dave Chappelle, over the weekend, puts out a comedy special. He starts off his joke by saying, hey, Trump put the National Guard in my hometown. I didn't like that shit. Dave Chappelle finishes the joke by saying, I drove to Washington, D.C., and I got to be honest, it's cleaner. And everybody laughs. Dave Chappelle set up the whole crowd. First, he says, hey, I'm mad at Trump for bringing the National Guard to D.C. Dave Chappelle finishes the joke by saying, DC is better. DC is cleaner. There's less homeless. This is the first person who's cared about the homeless problem in DC. Why hasn't any other president decided to clean up DC? This is the reality of the Trump presidency. This is what we will run on in 2026. The fact that DC is cleaner, Memphis is cleaner, the Chattahoochee Crunch in New Orleans, where we were arrested 10,000 deportees in 5 days. Charlotte's Web in North Carolina, where we arrested 5,000 deportees in 5 days. Did you know Dave Chappelle talked about Memphis? Dave Chappelle brought up, did you know Trump cleaned up Memphis? The Democrat media is not telling you the whole truth. Yes, DC is a safe zone, but he also cleaned up Memphis. Did you know he went to Memphis? There were no protests. The Memphis people are happy. Now, the Memphis people are happy Trump came to Memphis. He cleaned up Memphis. How many places have ICE gone to in just a matter of months? We went to the Supreme Court. We won the right to wear masks. We won the right to do ICE raids. Does anybody understand that Trump went to the Supreme Court, and when we went to LA, Gavin Newsom said, go to Supreme Court. Trump can't do this. Well, we won. Do you know how I know we went to state after state, city after city, Portland, LA. Right now, let me read you the latest. What happened in California, because it's not over. It's not what's going on right now in California. What's going on right now? ICE arrests 87 undocumented truck drivers in California sweeps. How many people have we arrested this far, just this year? And it hasn't been the whole year. Do you realize it hasn't been the whole year? And I saw numbers, 250,000 deportees arrested. Let's talk about these ICE arrests and 87 undocumented truck drivers. Now, you know, we had 2 accidents. We had a fatality in California, and we had a fatality in Florida. Both of those individuals were undocumented, and they got their CDLs in California per Gavin Newsom. Now, just for all of my MAGA listeners, Trump's administration has blocked $41 million from California until Gavin Newsom changes the loophole that allows undocumented people to get CDLs. Does everybody understand what a CDL is? Me and you get a driver's license, right? We take a driver's license exam. To get a CDL, it's to drive a truck, dual axles, air brakes. There's a higher level of proficiency because there's a higher level of technicality, and you could kill someone if you don't know how to work the double axles and those air brakes. The test is more lengthy and more extensive. So to get a CDL is not easy. Most people go to a school and become professionally trained to acquire a CDL. So you might ask yourself, how is it in California that an undocumented person who cannot read or write English acquired a CDL? I know there are people who live in other states. I got a lot of truck drivers who watch me in Texas, Alabama, Arkansas. And I know they're upset when they hear this because they know how much they pay to go to truck driving school. A lot of people pay a lot of money to go to truck driving school, and it costs a lot of money. It's not easy to gain your CDLs. But when you get your CDLs, you can make a good living, right? You can get a good living once you acquire your CDLs and you drive correctly and you follow the rules of the road. But in California, I know some people down south are upset when you hear about, wait a minute, Gavin Newsom has a loophole. Yes, Gavin Newsom, somebody said, I would love to get a CDL. Thank you. Well, if you were undocumented and you lived in California, it would be easy for you because there's a loophole. The application process in California is different. It's different than your state. In my state, there's a box that has been removed that allows undocumented workers to go ahead and gain. Did you guys know that? Did you guys know that Trump's DOJ transportation found that Gavin Newsom's California has removed proper questions that would have saved American lives. Do you understand? California is so liberal and Democrat, they created a process where undocumented workers can get CDLs, but it cost Americans lives. I think it was 3 or 4 people dead in LA from a fatality from an undocumented worker driving. And then in Florida, the undocumented worker from California. And guess what? Neither one of these people were Latino. They came across the border in 2022 in the Biden administration during the open border policy. Neither one of them were Latino. Neither one of them were Mexican. They were both Yemenis. They were both from the Middle East. How many people knew that people from the Middle East, Yemen, Iraq, and Afghanistan crossed over during the open borders of Barack Obama, I'm sorry, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris? The borders are, is she black? I don't know if she's black. It's okay if she's black, but what she the fucking borders are? How many people knew that Chinese, Venezuelan cartel, that people from Yemen and Afghanistan came across the border? So these two men who killed Americans with illegal CDLs that Gavin Newsom gave them were not Mexicans. They were not Mexicans. They were not Latino. Did you guys know that? I don't think people understand what happened during the Biden administration and the open border policy. But you have to look at the ICE operation in California in these 87. Now, listen to this. This is disgusting. This is disgusting when you think about Gavin Newsom and he wants to run for president. Now, listen to what I'm teaching you. I'm telling you about 2 people from the Middle East who came across the open border in 2022 who killed over 6 Americans, right? Now I'm going to tell you about a story where Trump arrested 87. Now, if 2 illegal immigrants killed 6 people, how many deaths are at the hands and feet of Gavin Newsom? How many people can we attribute to Gavin Newsom? Let me read this story. Not one illegal should ever receive a dime from our taxes. Let me read 87. So two undocumented truck drivers killed 6 Americans. Trump just arrested. Thank you for the gift, Trump Bunny. See a gift? Give a gift. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you for watching. ICE arrests 87 undocumented truck drivers in California sweeps. U.S. Immigration and Custom Enforcement and Border Patrol arrest at least 87 undocumented commercial truck drivers. How do those words even go together? There has to be some truck drivers in the chat who are upset. How do undocumented and truck drivers go together? Do you know how difficult and how costly it is to become a truck driver? It's a great job. It's one of the most lucrative and growing jobs because people in the shipping with Amazon. It's logistics, right? To get your Amazon package overnight, we need more truck drivers. We had a shortage on truck drivers. So it's a great job. It's a high-paying job, and it's a growing economy. But the fact that we're saying illegal immigrants and American truck drivers at the same time, Gavin Newsom should be held accountable. It's unfair, you guys, to Americans. I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican. There's no way undocumented people should be driving trucks on American highways. Let's continue with the story. Let's continue. Double tap. I don't have enough likes. We should have had 100 likes 5 minutes ago. Double tap at the like button. You are watching the Perfect Timing Podcast. Back at it like a crack addict. Automatic like a Fomatic. Built for tragedy. Made for tragedy. It's your boy, Perfect Timing Podcast. Back with the blast. In and out with a dash. 2025. Won't last. We're going to get this done real fast. U.S. immigration. Look at me, man. I am sweating, man. I am sweating. Woo! That MAGA. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement and Border Patrol arrest at least 87 undocumented commercial drivers. That doesn't even go together. Undocumented and commercial drivers don't even go together, Gavin Newsom. In recent operations, including Operation Highway Sentinel in Ontario. So this is a brand new operation. I told you about Chattahoochee Crunch. I told you about Charlotte's Web. Chattahoochee Crunch was in New Orleans. Charlotte's Web was in North Carolina. In Minneapolis, there was another one. I forget Minneapolis. I forgot to talk. When I talked about ICE, I left out. How could you leave out Minneapolis in the $1 billion fraud? Let's keep going. So we have a brand new operation in California to stop illegal immigrants killing Americans. Thank you, Trump. Because it's one thing to talk about it, right? It's one thing to talk about it. It's one thing. It's one thing to say, oh, Gavin Newsom is doing this, and it's one thing to say Americans are dying. We have a president who's actually doing something about these issues. It's not just us just complaining. The president is putting together. So what's a great example of this? MAGA said Omar married her brother, right? People came after MAGA and said we were being red pilled because we said Omar married her brother, right? Ohana Omar of the squad, right? Somalian congresswoman from Minnesota who's now worth $30 million. She's not married to her brother now. She's married to a white man. And they say the white man is the man who made the $30 million overnight. He wasn't rich when he married Omar. They're worth $30 million today after the $1 billion, right? But Omar, let me get back. I lost my train of thought looking at the damn chat, man. Double tap, hit the like button. Double tap, hit the like button, man. Double tap, hit the like button, man. Double tap, hit the like button, man. Gavin is a real clown. Thank you, man. Gavin is a real clown, man. California was legally giving undocumented immigrants driver's license, so they had to pass tests. They good drivers. They work hard. Get out of here, clown. Get out of here, clown. Get out of here, clown. Sister, ain't that's Jesus. Get out of here, clown. 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 How's everybody doing, man? How's everybody doing, man? How's everybody doing? We having a great MAGA terrific Tuesday. We're giving out a lot of information. We're getting out a lot of information today. The information is flowing. Hey, I need everybody, all of my deplorables, degenerates, double tap hit the like button, and I need you guys to share it with somebody like-minded. I need you guys to share it with somebody like-minded. Double tap, hit the like button, and share the information with somebody like-minded. What's good, Patriots? It's your boy, Perfect Timing Podcast, coming in hot on this glorious December 23rd, 2025. President Trump is out here dropping nukes left and right. He just unveiled Trump-class battleships. Yeah, you heard that right. Massive floating fortresses named after the GOAT himself, bigger than anything ever built. Somebody just put a super chat. All truth lies within. $20 super chat. Thank you, brother. You a G, bruh. Thank you for being intelligent and being here for the people to learn from that want to. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The others will just hate until they see that X order sign for elections. I agree. They're gonna hate. I'm gonna still do my work. My wife was giving me a kiss this morning, and my wife said, "Don't give up." My wife said, "Don't give up. Just keep smashing." So, brother, I thank you for that. Even more than the $20, I thank you for the attaboy, because you don't know how much it means, brother. All the people in the chat, I just want to say thank you, man. All the support that I get, I want to say thank you, because you know what I was thinking before I started? People think they think I'm Republican because of the numbers. Nah, I'm Republican because I'm a Southern Baptist. You know, I'd be surprised when I see this thing that black people should be Democrats. I think my grandmother would never vote for Tim Walz, right? My grandmother would never vote for the transgender. Did you guys know that Trump outlawed, the Republicans outlawed the gender affirming surgery for kids? Did you guys know that? So I'll be surprised when people be like, black people should be Democrat, right? Because I'm a Southern Baptist Christian conservative. My grandmother would never agree with any of the things that the Democrat purple-haired protesters try to push. So I think it's perverse when people say, I am the weird one. How am I weird? How am I weird for not being Democrat when I was born a Southern Baptist? My grandmother took me to church every Sunday. I read the Bible. The Bill of Rights are based on Bible. Human rights did not. Do you guys know we live in a Christian country? country and God we trust. Where did the Bill of Rights come from? It comes from God in the Bible, Christian conservative. So I don't understand when they say black people should be Democrat. What black people should be Democrat? Black people go to church every Sunday, right? We pray, we sing in the gospel choir, right? So I don't understand this whole thing when people are confused when they see a black man vote Republican and have conservative ideals. I'm Baptist. Do you even know what Baptist is? It's like idiotic, right? Do you even know what Baptist is, right? It's like we sing, you hear the gospel music, you see black people are so charismatic and so spiritual, and then you forget about their ideology, right? That you forget about the way we were raised, right? I'm conservative because I was raised Christian, conservative, Southern Baptist, right? That's what it is. It's not for the views. And what's surprising to me is that more people don't understand it in 2025, right? That's the surprising part to me. Let me see. Republicans gender surgery for minors. Did you guys see that story? Did you guys see that story? The House passes legislation. This was December 17th. Did you guys see this story? Man, I love giving, shout out to, who is this guy? I just want to say again, man, thank you to All Truth Lies Within, brother, because you just inspired me to give out some real truth. See, a lot of people would be scared to talk about this because they're scared to talk about transgender and gay topics, right? They don't want to be honest about their socioeconomic background. They just want the views, brother. They just want to say, hey, MAGA, hey, Trump, and then watch the views. They don't want to be honest with the audience. They don't want to share with the audience a piece of themselves, who they really are, who your mother, your grandmother, your background, where you went to school, where you went to church, what neighborhood, right? My grandmother drove a Cadillac. She lived in a big house. Socioeconomically, my grandmother was always Republican based on her economics. She owned businesses. A lot of black mothers from that time were small business owners. Yet she had conservative principles because she had employees. She paid tithes. She paid tithes. She paid tithes. I watched her contribute to her church. She paid taxes proudly. She paid tithes proudly. She was always conservative. I'm confused. Y'all help me understand in the chat. I don't know where the purple hair came from. I don't know where the gender surgery came from. I don't know where none of this shit came from. It's not how I was raised. And then the Democrats, this is why Tim Walz and Kamala lost, because they tried to shove it down the throats of Americans that if you don't agree with transgender ideology, then somehow you're racist. They linked gay and transgender to being black and racist, and all America had to be quiet for 4 years. All America had to be quiet for 4 years. We couldn't be honest. But when it came time to vote, Kamala didn't get one vote. Tim didn't get. Do you know why? Because you did not listen to us. Bud Light did not listen to us. Target did not listen to us. Cracker Barrel did not listen to us. Kamala, the DNC, Tim Walz did not listen to the American people. We did not want tampons in the bathroom. What's up with your BGP? How you feeling? How you living? Salute. Subscribe to Big Daddy Beard Gaming. Let me read you this, because I don't think a lot of people know this story, because Trump has done so much that you can't follow everything, right? Listen to this. We're going to get back to ICE, right? We're going to get back to ICE in the building. Trump administration proposes cutting federal funds to gender treatment in minors. How many people knew about this? On December 18th, it just happened. 2025, HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. announced rules barring federal payments for puberty blockers, right? They didn't listen to you, America. Now Trump is listening. America first, our kids first. America first, our kids first. Trump is listening. Trump is listening. Trump is listening. Are you listening? On December 18th, HHS Secretary RFK Jr. announced rules barring payments for puberty blockers, hormones, and surgeries on minors. Let's go, MAGA! Let's go, MAGA! Real policy, baby. Real policy, baby. Not just conjecture and all this stupid shit from the Democrats. Policy makers. That's what I want. Hashtag in the chat. Policy makers. Huh? RFK, since he came, been doing policy after policy after policy, politics. So if RFK runs for president, he gonna have a litany of things to say I accomplished when I was at the HHS. These are the policies I got approved, and this is how America was made better. No hormones, no surgeries on minors, calling them unsafe and ineffective based on reviews like the UK case report. Exceptions allow care for sexually developed disorders, prior complications, and therapy for gender dysmorphia. Supporters like transitioner Chloe Cole see it as child protection. I'm going to read that again. Supporters like transitioner, how many people know that some kids were pressured before they became adults to go into this process and they couldn't reverse it? Supporters like transitioner Chloe Cole see it as child protection, while Democrats and groups like American Academy for Pediatrics label the treatment essential and the rules cruel overreach with legal challenges already promised. Amazing how defending a child from this surgery can be reinvented as depriving a child of health care by these notorious groomers. As always, however, the verbal gymnastics inevitably lead to children. Now look at this picture. Let's go to a clip. Hit the like button. Let's go to a clip. Y'all didn't know I was going to talk about this, right? Y'all think we scared to talk about these real topics? No, we talk about real topics. Look at this book. Don't tell mom or dad. Remember what I just said about being Baptist and conservative? This is why I can't vote Democrat. This is why I can't vote Democrat. This is why I can't vote Democrat. This is why my grandmother, double tap at the like button. This is why my grandmother would not vote Democrat. This is not conservative. This is not American. Don't tell mom or dad, the people paying the rent, the people buying the food, the people washing your ass, the people who say your prayers every night. The book literally says, don't tell mom or dad. This is your Democratic Party, bro. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Today, Trump did one of the cruelest things that he's done so far, and he's done a lot of cruel things. He issued a proposed rule. It's not final yet, and it's going to be litigated, but a proposed rule to effectively eliminate health care for trans young people in any hospitals. And what he did was to say to hospitals, if you commit the mortal sin of providing health care to trans kids, even if their families support it, even if their doctors support it, you're going to lose all Medicare and Medicaid funding, which would effectively mean closing down hospitals. So these people, they hate trans people so much that they're willing to close down entire hospitals if that hospital, God forbid, provides health care to a trans young person. This is despicable. It's bigoted. We need to make sure that hospitals don't just accept this. We have to fight this. And I also want to say, this is on Trump and Republicans for trying to eliminate trans people. It is so despicable. But in a vote in the House of Representatives yesterday, where the House voted to blanket ban health care for trans young people, 4 Democrats voted in favor of that ban, and it would have failed without those 4 votes. Democrats need to have trans people's backs. And I just want to say to all of the trans kids and their families out there who are living in fear right now, we see you, we have your backs, and we're going to fight for you.
So this is what a lot of time I'll be saying. A lot of time we say fake news, we say propaganda. He trying to say they're gonna shut down hospitals. Y'all want to read it again? I'm gonna show you RFK, but I'm gonna read it again. He says shut down hospitals. Trump didn't say anything about shutting down hospitals. RFK didn't say anything. So in California, with the illegal drivers, the federal government, see, every state gets allocations from the feds. Every state gets allocation. Transportation gets allocation to the DMV. And Medicaid is federal allocation to the state. What this new policy would say is that if the states, that means if California still wants to pay for gender affirming care and surgery, and California is in debt, just like New York is in debt. Well, California and New York can pay for it. But Trump and Doge is saying that federal dollars will no longer go toward these forms of therapy. Let me read it again, just so you guys have the information, because the Democrat liberal media is going to put out propaganda and lie to you. You don't understand the difference between state and federal. I know that because a lot of people didn't understand who was responsible for the shutdown. It was a Democratic shutdown led by Chuck Schumer and AOC. Now listen, right? The state can still pay for these things, right? If you live in a Democratic liberal state, they can still pay for it. The federal government doesn't have the money to pay for your gender affirming care and surgery. It's no more free ride. If you want to be a girl, you're going to have to pay for it yourself. Listen, on December 18th, 2025, HHS Secretary RFK Jr. announced rules. Listen to this key part that he left out. Barring the federal government to pay, barring the federal government, not the state, barring the federal government from paying for puberty blockers, hormones, and surgeries on minors. It doesn't even say the federal government will block it on everybody. This is what propaganda really looks like. This is what propaganda really looks like. It doesn't say block it on everybody, right? It said it's blocked for minors. If adults apply, this is saying that adults still would qualify for federal funding if you are adult, right? RFK is saying we're blocking federal money for minors. We're blocking federal money for minors, right? The state can still pay for it. We're not blocking all federal money. If you're an adult, you still may qualify. And also, there are other caveats. Listen to this. There are caveats for gender dysmorphia. There are caveats for people with disorders and complications, right? So if you've had a surgery in the past and you were a child, we're not going to leave you in the cold, right? There are caveats, but please understand what I am telling you this morning. I'm talking about federal funds, right? Federal funds. There is divine worth in every person, and it shines most brightly in our children. Now,
they cannot fully.
I'm gonna play a clip from RFK on the topic. Everybody double tap, hit the like button. You know, we're going to get back to ICE and all that good stuff. We're going to get back to Trump blowing up drug boats. I got to talk about some real shit for a minute.
The Trump administration will not stand by while ideology, misinformation, and propaganda push vulnerable young people into decisions they cannot fully understand and that they can never reverse. On my watch, HHS will stand for radical transparency and informed consent. We follow the evidence, we employ gold standard science, we honor the moral obligation to do no harm. There is divine worth in every person, and it shines most brightly in our children. That worth commands us to protect them. And as long as I serve as HHS Secretary, this agency will do so. President Trump has made child protection a national priority. The Make Our Children Healthy Again strategy demonstrates that commitment. Sex-rejecting procedures rob children of their futures. So today we are taking 6 decisive actions, guided by gold standard science and the week 1 executive order from President Trump to protect children from chemical and surgical mutilation. This morning, I signed a declaration. Sex-rejecting procedures are neither safe nor effective treatment for children with gender dysphoria.
Let's go, MAGA. Clap it up in the chat.
Medical professionals or entities providing sex-rejecting procedures to children are out of compliance with these standards of healthcare. This declaration is a clear directive to providers to follow the science and the overwhelming body of evidence that these procedures hurt, not help children.
Let's go, MAGA. Let's go, MAGA. That these procedures hurt, not help children. How many people knew about this new development, right? It's not 2024 anymore. Somebody put it in the chat. It's not 2024 anymore. No more Biden. Let's go, Brent. It is not 2024. Reality has come back to America. There's no more crazy in America anymore. Let's put tampons in the boys' bathroom. Did any boy ask for tampons in the bathroom? How many people need tampons? It is bullying, and we knew it was bullying. We knew it was bullying. It's bullying. You're trying to push us into accepting something we don't want. Nobody asked for tampons in the boys' bathroom. So why was it a topic? You thought it was funny. You thought it was funny. You became bullies. Over 4 years, you became bullies, right? We're going to put tampons in the boys' bathroom because you guys don't understand. We're going to put Nobody asked. But nobody unpacked the psychology of these individuals and say, well, why? Why do we need tampons in the boys' bathroom? We don't have any gender people here. Why would we need to pay for that with tax dollars in every public school when it's not requested, it's not needed? What is it for? It's the fucking ideology, right? It was bullying our children into believing and thinking a certain ideology. It wasn't about the tampon. It was about what the tampon machine in the boys' bathroom would represent, right? It was what it would instill in their future democratic liberal brains. Because they would be, well, why is it in here? No one's using it. No one's using the tampon machine in the boys' bathroom. Why is it in here? Why is it in here? Why did they spend so much money? They could have bought us laptops. Why not buy iPads for the students? Why not buy laptops for the students? Why spend money on tampon machines and then refilling the machines with tampons because the kids are just going to play with them and throw them, right? Why would you spend the money on fixing tampon machines to a boy's bathroom when you don't have a need, you don't have a request, and you have students who are failing? American students are scoring some of the lowest test scores in the globe. Illiteracy rates skyrocketing, which is why Trump closed the Department of Education. Does everybody know Trump closed the department? You know about the Department of War? You know about the Gulf of America, no more the Gulf of Mexico? And Trump closed the Department of Education because American children can't even read. So instead of spending money on American children learning how to read and literacy rates going up, you want to put tampons in the boys' bathroom. I ask why? What were you trying to teach? What was the message? Because the tampons weren't required or needed, even by the percentages of how many transgender are in America, even smaller amounts in Minnesota, where you have Islamic, Muslim, Minneapolis Somalis who don't believe in gay, right? No one is talking about that while everybody's defending the Somalians. They don't believe in women wearing clothes and they don't believe in gay rights, but no one is talking about that. So please tell me why in Minnesota would you need you're not going to put them in Minneapolis because you have Somali Muslims in Minneapolis and they don't believe in that. So please tell me, right? Please tell me why Minnesota? Why Minnesota? I just want to know, Minnesota. I know idiots like this, LOL, happens on both sides. MF so worked up over anything aligning with opinions. Who do you know? You don't know nobody with this type of motion. You don't got motion like this, and you don't know nobody with no motion like this. He telling me he knows somebody with motion like
rise in strong up.
You don't know anybody with motion like this. Come on now. And no one has gave out this information like this. The treatment is not affirming anything, but these children's misgivings about who they are their confusion. Let's listen to this. Let's listen to this. Let's listen to this. This is the detransitioner. So let's not take opinions from the people in the chat who don't know what they're talking about. This podcast, I give our receipts. On this podcast, we give our receipts. Do you see this? Can you read? You may be one of those children from Minneapolis or Minnesota who has some literacy issues and can't read this. I'll read it for you. Chloe Clow, detransitioner and children's rights advocate. She was transitioning, but now she stopped, and now she's agreeing with RFK on this bill. And I'm the only one giving this information. You guys know that? I'm the only one giving this information. I'm the only one brave enough and bold enough to tell you the honest truth about what's going on in MAGA politics. I know some of the people watching wish that I was making this up or it was just my opinion. This is RFK Trump policy, and now I'm going to show you a detransitioner. This is not just me talking. I have receipts, brothers and sisters. There was a vote on the House floor. This is not me being angry. It's not me being phobic or any of those things. I am reporting politics to my audience. A lot of people don't know about this political policy, right? And RFK and the health secretary who made this announcement. It's my responsibility to inform my audience about policy. We're talking about policy today, not my personal opinion. I'm talking about policy. Can everybody understand? Let's get back to the policy.
This treatment is not affirming anything but these children's misgivings about who they really are, their confusion, their normal adolescent discomfort that, frankly, everybody goes through and children who are more sensitive are more prone to. But it's rejecting the very way that God beautifully created them in their mother's womb. And I just love how he lays out how destructive this is, and how he says this is not medicine, but malpractice. This is what detransitioners, this is what the children who have been harmed and regret this, the young people who have been thrown out by this industry, and their families who've been torn apart have been waiting to hear for years. And to finally hear this, our concerns being echoed by the federal government, is incredibly vindicating.
Amen. Hey, clap it up in the chat, man. Clap it up in the chat, man. That was detransitioner Chloe Cole reinforcing the sentiments of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and the HHS and a brand new policy defunding federal funds in the states to pay for everything we talked about. Thank you for watching. We kicking ass today, man. We kicking ass today, man. I got so much to talk about. Man. Right now, let's get back to that ICE situation. Let's get back to that ICE arrest 87 undocumented truck drivers in California. Let's talk about it, man. Senator Duffy is now threatening to pull $25 million from blue states of Colorado because they are refusing to purge illegals from CDLs. 22% of all CDLs in the state are illegal. How many people knew that? 22% of all CDL licenses are illegal. So now we not only going after California, we're going after Colorado. 87 arrests in California for illegal. Check this out. U.S. immigrants, Custom Enforcement, Border Patrol arrested 87 undocumented commercial drivers in recent operation, including Operation Highway Sentinel in Ontario, Fontana, and Indio. The drivers from countries like India, Mexico, and El Salvador held California commercial driver's license despite their status. Officials stress public safety after deadly crashes leaked to unqualified immigrant truckers. That's what we started on. Let me say that again. Officials stress public safety after deadly crashes linked to unqualified immigrant truckers, part of a Trump administration push, warning states like California and Colorado over similar issues. Let's go to the tape.
Duffy saying,
Let's go to the tape. 87 arrested in California, immigrants with CDLs.
accusing Colorado of slow walking the purge of illegal CDLs. Duffy saying every day that goes by is another day unqualified, unvetted foreign truckers are jeopardizing the safety of you and your family. He's threatening to pull $24 million in highway funds from Colorado if the state does not act quickly. Back to you guys. Accusing Colorado of slow walking the purge of illegal CDLs. Duffy saying every day that goes by is another day unqualified, unvetted foreign truckers are jeopardizing the safety of you and your family.
And we already took 41 million from California. They already took 41 million from California. Let's go.
Highway Sentinel. Most of the arrests took place on highway.
Did y'all see it? This is the Operation Sentinel in California. Operation Fair Use.
Immigration and Customs Enforcement have arrested 101 illegal alien semi-truck drivers and seized their commercial driver's licenses in a California operation called Operation Highway Sentinel. Most of the arrests took place on highways and ports throughout the state. Democratic California Governor Gavin Newsom has rejected the Trump administration's effort to arrest illegal migrant truck drivers. Immigration and Customs Enforcement have arrested.
So I reported 80. It's actually 101.
101 illegal alien semi-truck drivers and seized their commercial driver's licenses in a California operation called Operation Highway Sentinel. Most of the arrests took place on highways and ports.
101 citations and took away their license. Can we get a... We're not just complaining. MAGA doesn't just do what the Democrats. We're not just complaining. We're giving you Christmas gifts. Christmas came early, baby. Christmas came early, baby. Woo, that MAGA. Whoa, that MAGA. Black Santa Claus. I got 101 citations coming down the chimney, and I took they CDLs in California. Now I'm going to Colorado, and we go, do you know what happened in Colorado? Trenta de Agua in Aurora, Colorado, 20,000, 40,000 cartel members took over Aurora, Colorado, start pumping drugs to Americans. Did you know that? That's why Trump going to Colorado. We're going to Colorado. Colorado just got threatened to take away 25 million. We already held 40 million from California. Whoa, that MAGA. Whoa, that MAGA. Let's listen to
all their money. That's the leverage that I do have.
Let's go. Let's go. This is Sean Duffy of the Transportation Secretary. Y'all remember Pete Buttigieg, right? Pete Buttigieg didn't do shit. Pete Buttigieg married a man and had a baby. Who baby is it? I don't know. They got a baby. Did you know Pete Buttigieg is polling to run for president in 2028? Pete Buttigieg, who didn't do nothing but marry a man and have a baby. I don't know who he had a baby by, but he didn't do nothing. He was a mayor, and because he was gay, they made him Transportation Secretary. But now he's going to run for president in 2028. What has he accomplished politically? What policy? Why can anybody on the Democrat side just do anything just because they Democrat? If she's a black woman, she gets to be president. What qualifications does she have beyond being a black woman? If it's a gay man, he gets to run. What qualifications does he have beyond being a gay man? Pete Buttigieg, Kamala Harris. I'm a black woman. Vote for me because I'm black. Is she black? I didn't know she was black. It's okay if she's black, if she want to be black. That's not my decision. But was she the border czar? That's what I want to know as a MAGA conservative. Were you the border czar? Now, this is Trump's appointee, Transportation Secretary, and he's actually doing something about the illegal policies in California and Colorado that allow immigrants to get CDLs. Now let's go listen to Sean Duffy as I broke this shit down. No one else is breaking this down like this.
But what I can do, Brian, is I can pull their money. That's the leverage that I do have. And as long as they don't comply, there's statutory rules by which I have to abide by. I have to give them, time to comply with our rules. But if they don't, I guarantee you that the federal taxpayer is not going to fund their roads and bridges and their systems when they're putting illegals on the roads and endangering the lives of the American people. And you know this, if you get a driver's license in Colorado, New York, or California, you don't stay in those states. You actually travel across the country, so you endanger every single American by putting an unqualified driver behind the wheel as they travel across all of the lower 48. Probably dangerous. So But what I can do, Brian, is I can pull their money. That's the leverage that I do have. And as long as they don't comply, there's statutory rules by which I have to abide by. I have to give them, time to comply with our rules. But if they don't, I guarantee you that the federal taxpayer is not going to fund their roads and bridges and their system.
The federal taxpayer is, let's go MAGA, the federal taxpayer is not going to fund their roads and bridges. Do you guys understand what I've been talking about today? When we talk about the transgender surgery, federal are not going to pay for it. When we talk about illegal CDLs, Trump administration has said the federal is not going to pay for it. We're not going to pay for it. We're not going to take it. No, we're not going to take it. We're not going to take it anymore. Merry Christmas, nigga. Let's go. Let's go, MAGA. Let's go. Let's go, MAGA. Let's go.
But what I can do, Brian, is I can pull their money. That's the leverage that I do have. And as long as they don't comply, there's statutory rules by which I have to abide by. I have to give them, time to comply with our rules. But if they don't, I guarantee you that the federal taxpayer is not going to fund their roads and bridges and their systems when they're putting illegals on the roads and endangering the lives of the American people. And you know this. If you
shout out to None Your Business, shout out to None Your Business, shout out to None Your Business for that deer. We're not going to take it anymore. Everybody in the chat right now, we're not going to take it. Merry Christmas. We're not going to take it. Merry Christmas. We're not gonna take it anymore. 1, 2, 3, MAGA, let's go. We're not gonna take it. No tampons in the bathroom. We're not gonna take it. No transgender on the Bud Light can. We're not gonna take it. No Cracker Barrel without the cracker next to the barrel anymore. We're not gonna take it. No tampons in the boys' bathroom. We're not gonna take it anymore. Woo! Just getting started on a terrific Tuesday. I'm just getting started on a This is the best podcast. This is the best part. You just gotta admit it. You're not gonna find anything like this, baby. You're not gonna find anything like this, baby. Do you know we've been talking about the stolen election in 2020? Can I give you guys some more MAGA meat? Can I give you some more MAGA red meat? Who wants some of that MAGA red meat? Ooh, who wants some of that MAGA red meat? I want it. I want it. I want some MAGA red meat. Give it to me. Give it to me. Fulton County admits to 2020 poll tape signature failures. Did you know that? Did you know Trump said they stole the election? Trump said they stole, but see, we had to be quiet for 4 years because anybody who said it in that last administration, they tried to bury you. They would close your YouTube channel. They tried to cancel you if you said Biden stole the election. You can't say that. But Fani Willis can prosecute Trump for a RICO for a phone call. Fani Willis could prosecute Trump, but Fani Willis was fucking co-counsel and co-counsel was married. So Fani Willis lost. Is that another L for the Democrats? Is that another L for, how many L's can we count? L, the L, the L, the L, the L, and the O, and the O, and the O, the S, the S. Losers! Another L for the Democrats. Yeah, Fani Willis was fucking co-counsel and he was a married man. And then they lied about fucking. They lied about being married, right? They lied about the adultery. They lied about the infidelity. So she lost the RICO case. Did you guys know that? Because they said Trump tried to steal an election when Biden actually stole the election. Because I remember seeing videos of black mammies in Atlanta hiding and stuffing ballots. Remember, they were on TikTok and they had all these ballots and they were saying, we're going to make sure Trump lose. We're going to make, did anybody remember those TikToks? We weren't allowed to bring them up for 4 years. We weren't allowed to bring it up. Then the Democrats who were in power for 4 years said those weren't for real. You can't refer to those TikToks because that wasn't real. We counted all the votes. We counted all the votes. Remember those TikToks of all those black women in Democratic voting enclaves saying they're going to make sure Biden wins fuck Trump. Does anybody remember that? I remember those TikTok videos. And then Democrats, when they won, said, ignore those TikTok videos. Well, now let me read to you something. Can I read to you? I would like to read to you. Thank you, Victor, for that 6-7. 6-7. Now, Fulton County. Now, isn't it odd that Fulton County, the same place that wanted to put Trump into a RICO, now Fulton County has been caught with lying at over, I think it was like 11, Trump wanted 11,000 votes, but Fulton County has been caught not signing on over 200,000 votes. Over 200,000 votes got processed, but they wasn't signed. Sean with the $5 super chat. Love the channel. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to all. America first. Double tap, hit the like button. MAGA. America first. Make America wavy again. So we're talking about the 2020 election. We're talking about Trump saying that Biden stole the 2020 election. We're talking about MAGA Republicans not being able to give out all of the proof and receipts we had because we would have got canceled, right? We would have got deplatformed. Today, I'm going to read you some receipts. How excited are you? Fulton County admits 2020 poll tape signature failures. They admit to a failure. They admit they didn't sign off on votes. How many votes? Let's find out, because Trump only needed 11,000. Trump only needed 11,000 to win Atlanta, Georgia, and win the presidency. Now, remember, when I went to bed, Trump was winning. When we woke up, Biden was the president. I never had an election where you didn't know who the president was before you went to bed. Every other election, I'm 50 years old, my whole life, every election before I went to bed, we knew who the president was. In 2020, you went to bed, Trump was winning every state. Shout out to None Your Business for the other GOAT. In 2020, when we went to bed, Trump was winning every state. When we woke up, Trump lost. When you make a phone call, when you want to wonder what happened, I was winning every state. Joe Biden is 90,000 years old. How do you tell me Joe Biden won, right? Win while everybody was asleep. They never explained it. They never explained it, right? They never explained it. Somebody said, I remember that. I know it's cognitive. The Democrats have done a number on the American public. I know a lot of you have forgot about this. But in 2020, in every election, if you're my age, every time we vote for president, we know who wins before we go to bed. But in 2020, we went to bed and CNN, the liberal Democratic media, not anybody official. Did you guys know that the media stole the election from Trump? There was no official count. Americans trust CNN. Do you know how it happened? We trust CNN. So CNN told us, but CNN can lie. It's in their contract. Barack Obama signed it. CNN can lie. Trump won 17 million from ABC. He won 15 million from CBS. Trump is suing the BBC for $1 billion for fake news and for lies. We believe CNN. CNN told us, go to sleep. We'll tell you in the morning. Why did America listen to CNN? I will never know. Why didn't Americans call? Why today don't we have an official total or tally so we don't have to listen to liberal media? I don't know. But we listened to CNN and they said, go to bed, go to bed. Go to bed. When you wake up, we'll give you a president. And we went to bed like it was Christmas, like it was Christmas Eve, with dreams of sugar plums and gumdrops in our head. And we said, Trump is the president. I know I did. We went to sleep waiting for Santa Claus. Santa Claus, Trump. Trump is going to win. Trump won every state. Biden and Kamala's full of shit. I can't wait for Trump to win. And we woke up and Biden was president. This never happened in American history. It never happened in America, and then CNN is the one who we believe. Now listen, Trump said they stole it, and listen to what Fulton County did. Fulton County admits 2020 poll tape signature failures. The procedural lapse came alight at December 9th, 2025 Georgia State Election Board hearing, prompted by a 2022 complaint from activist David Cross. County Attorney Ann Barnbraugh acknowledged the violation. They are admitting and acknowledging the violation, noting that new training and procedures have since fixed the issue. Wow. Now they said they admitted they didn't sign off on signatures, but they want to count the votes. Listen to this. While unsigned tapes cover a significant number of votes, I read 200,000. I read 200,000. I read it was 200,000 votes. We're gonna find out right now. I read it was 200,000 votes. Let's find out. While unsigned tapes covered a significant number of votes, the feds in Georgia certified the 2020 result. How do they certify the result even though the signatures are like 200,000 votes that are not signed off? And how do we count them if they're not signed off to be like correct date, correct time, correct address, the person is alive? This is what Doge found out. Doge found out that there are dead people on Social Security, on welfare. So that's why you have to double check and sign, because sometimes dead people get ballots and the ballots come back and we don't even know who the fuck they coming from. So how can we count these votes if they weren't signed off? Check this out. Where Joe Biden prevailed by about 11,800 votes overall, no evidence shows errors allowed invalid ballots or altered the outcome. The watchdogs continue pressing. Let me go into some deep dive. Let me go into some deep dive on this vote, because I read it the other day and it was 2,000. How many 200,000? It was like 200,000 that they signed off on. I got it for you right here, you guys. Where are we at? DOJ. No. Epstein collapse. It's not here. Let's go down. I think it's like 200,000 votes. Okay, Fulton County admits they violated the rules in 2020 when they certified 350,000 early votes that lacked posted. Oh my God, 350,000. Did y'all know that in the chat? 350,000. I didn't know. I'm trying to look for it now. Fulton County, we don't dispute. Do you believe this? Fulton County, I'm reading this from the Federalist. A lot of people know about the Federalist, right? I'm reading this fair use from the Federalist. Fulton County, we don't dispute 315,000 votes lacking poll worker signatures were counted in 2020. That's from the Federalist. Do you believe that? Earlier this month, Fulton County admitted that approximately 315,000 early votes. Trump has talked about the mail-in vote. Trump talked about California and how they stole the election. Now this is Georgia. Georgia and Fulton County, this is where Fannie Willis is the district attorney. Fulton County admitted that 315,000, that's not light. We only needed 11,000 to win. 315,000 early votes from the 2020 election were illegally certified, but were nonetheless still included in the final results of the election. Illegally certified, but nonetheless still included in the final results. The omission came during a December 9th hearing before Georgia State Election Board, stemming from a challenge from David Cross over a local election integrity. Cross filed the challenge with the SEB in 2022. Cross alleged that Fulton County violated Georgia election rules and handling of advanced voting ahead of the November 2020 election, counting hundreds of thousands of votes, even though polling workers failed to sign off on the vote tabulation tapes, critical to the certification process. Fulton County admitted it. The attorney for Fulton County Board of Registration and Elections told the SEB that the hearing while she has not seen the tapes herself, the county does not dispute that the tapes were not signed. She also said it was a violation of the rule. We, since 2020, again have new leadership and new building and a new board and a new standard operating procedures. I'm gonna read that again because I want people to know that how Trump lost the election. So this is what she said. We admit that the tapes were not signed, that the vote is not a legally certified vote. But this is her answer. We have updated, listen, Trump lost the election when they had an old building, an old board, an old standard, an old procedures, because she said her answer is this: since 2020, we have new leadership. So that means Trump got cheated and robbed, right? She acknowledges that the tapes weren't signed and it was not a legitimate vote. But this is her answer. Since 2020, we have new leadership because the old leadership cheated. We have a new building because in the old building we cheated. We have a new board because the old board cheated. We have a new standard because the old standard cheated Trump. We have a new operation procedure because the old one cheated. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. She said, yeah, we did not have a legally certified vote. But since then, I have new leadership. I mean, I fired everybody. I have a new standard operation procedures because the last one led to fraud. She's admitting fraud. She's admitting there was fraud in the vote in 2020. And because there was fraud in the vote, she fired her staff. She has brand new leadership. She got a brand new policy. They don't even count the votes the same way because she doesn't want more fraud. Is everybody listening? They're not even counting the votes the same way because she doesn't want more fraud. They have brand new leadership, a brand new process to count the votes, brand new procedures, a brand new building, and a brand new board of directors. Why would they do all of that if Trump did not get robbed? Why would they do all of that if Trump did not? Oops, sorry. That is what they said. Yeah, sorry. This is the truth. So next time you in the barbershop and someone talks about 2020 and Trump and the election being stolen from Trump, just let them know that Atlanta and Fulton County, and then they're going to say, Fulton County, why is that familiar? Because Fannie Willis had a RICO charge against Trump in Fulton County. Do you remember the mugshot? The famous mugshot was in Fulton County because Fannie Willis had a RICO charge. This same Fulton County did not certify 315,000 votes. And when questioned about the non-certified illegal vote, they said, we admit that we made a mistake. Since then, we have fired our staff. We have brand new staff, brand new leadership, brand new policies. We moved into a brand new building and we have a brand new board of directors. What happened in 2020 will never happen again. I have a question for the chat. What happened in 2020? What happened? Because she has a brand new procedure, brand new staff, brand new leadership, brand new policy to make sure what happened in 2020 never happens again. What happened in 2020? Well, Biden stole the election because they lied about 315,000 votes. That's what happened in 2020. That's why she has all this new shit. So whenever you hear about Trump and he says they stole the election in 2020, remember where you got the receipts. Remember where you got the receipts. And this is not an investigation. Can everybody understand what I'm saying? This is not an investigation. This is not an investigation. Atlanta, they admit it. The Atlanta lawyer admits it. They don't there's no discrepancies. They admit they did not have a legally certified vote for the presidency in 2020. She's not arguing. She admitted it. So this is not about, oh, Fulton County's being investigated for 300. No, there is no investigation. There is no question anymore. This is not, we're going to go investigate Fulton County. No, they admitted they did not have a legally certified vote and they did not count 315,000 votes. Trump should have been president in 2020. Trump should have been president in 2020. Trump should have been president in 2020. Let's do another story. Let's do another story. Let's do something hot. Let's do another story. U.S. military sinks suspected drug vessel in Pacific strike, kills one. Did you know about the new Trump boats? Did you know about, Chicago activist calls for boycott? I gotta play this for y'all.
Only couldn't make it to.
I gotta play this for y'all because I've been talking about MAGA. Y'all gotta see this then if you're calling me that. Look at this. This is a black woman. She got a Trump hat on. Let me play the Chicago Democrats stealing money. I've been talking about Chicago. I've been talking about the corrupt Democratic states and enclaves. Hey, look at that beautiful sister with that Trump hat on. Chicago flips red. Can we get Chicago red? Can we get Chicago MAGA? Can we get Chicago? Let me give you some news about what's going on in Chicago with the black Republicans, because y'all think I'm the only black Republican in the world. I'm not. I'm not the only black Republican. Let's go.
Today, she too busy loving her home she just got for $1 million, while we just received these high property tax bills. So we all here because of our property taxes. Some here, like Zoe and Miss Jessica, because y'all stealing black people property. So I just want to know, because we just came from the city council meeting, we coming there and the city is blaming the county, and now you just blaming Springfield. And then when you, all these people, when they go to these town hall meetings and you send your puppets, they lie and they blame the invisible white man. Somehow they are pushing us out of our community. They want our property. They want black people property. They never say who it is. They just say, you know who they are. But when I come up in here, I see all black faces. I see Democrats. So are we talking about the Democrats are pushing black people out of their communities? The Democrats hate black people. The Democrats want our property and replace us with illegal aliens, because you all come in these meetings talking about the invisible white person, but we don't never see him, but we see all of you all here. And then you sit here, all these black faces, you sit here, all Democrats, and you sit here all arrogantly like your seats are secure, like we are not coming after these seats. Just like I told Brendan Johnson over there the first time I spoke on that mic, I said the same thing that's making y'all laugh and here gonna make y'all cry. And then you see what's happening. Same thing here. Now I'm giving y'all warning right here. The same thing that's making y'all laugh and here is gonna make y'all cry. Mark my words. See, y'all sit here too comfortably, thinking that everything, black people stupid, that we don't understand what's going on, that we gonna vote blue no matter who, and all y'all gotta do is use the race card. All y'all gotta do is call white supremacy, the white man. But we're in a heavily Democratic city from top to bottom, state and city, all Democrats. So can we say that the Democrats are racist white men or white women? Who is it? Because this is what y'all telling us. So I'm letting you all know, Chicago flips red. We are not paying these taxes. We are calling for a boycott on these taxes. Nobody is playing this game no more. We won't pay our taxes until we get a forensic audit on where all our money is going. We're demanding that. We're asking President Trump to send the feds here.
30 seconds.
The DOJ here. We need a forensic audit on where our money is going. We are not paying no property taxes, and we are calling for a boycott. And we're going around to every ward in the city and calling for it. You all gonna learn to stop playing with us, and you all gonna learn that you all work for us, and none of these seats secure. And we coming for those seats, and you can sit there like you sitting there, like you unbothered, all of you all. Yeah, but you getting up out of those.
Next speaker is Dennis White.
You getting up out, let's play that again. You getting up out of those seats. You getting up out of those seats.
I guess $1 Million Tony couldn't make it today. She too busy loving her home she just got for $1 million, while we just received these high property tax bills.
Is a reality of 2026. This is the reality of 2026. Chicago flips red. This is what they don't want you to see. I played a video last week. The Democrats polls on the Democrats are -6. They want you to think something is magical going to happen in 20. No, the country is turning red. Jasmine Crockett lost those 5 seats because the country is turning red. Texas is turning red. Chicago, Illinois is turning red. California is not going to re-elect a Democratic governor. How many people know that Gavin Newsom can't run for governor again? And I am so glad about it. Nancy Pelosi retiring. MTG quit. Jasmine Crockett cannot run for Congress again. Do you notice this red tint coming over American politics? Gavin Newsom can't run for governor again. Californians are done with a Democratic leader. Remember who gave you the governor? Who gave you the governor? California will elect a Republican governor, and he will get reelected just like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger was a Republican governor that we elected over and over because we were tired of Democratic failures. The Enron debacle. Remember, electricity in California skyrocketed under Democratic leadership. Remember the Enron debacle? That's how we got a Republican governor last time. And Gavin Newsom with the CDL failure, I'm telling you, Illinois, Pritzker with the ICE, Illinois will not elect a Democratic governor next time. California will not elect a Democratic governor next time. How does it look in 2028 if California is red? How do the Democrats do in 2028 if California is red? This is not just I'm not just saying it to say it. How many people understand Gavin Newsom is running for president because he can't run for governor again? Gavin Newsom is not running for governor, and Californians are done with Democratic policies. So we're going to have a Republican governor in California, Republican in Illinois, Republican in Florida. How do the Democrats win in 2028? And this is what it looks like for you in 2026. This is what you got to look at in 2026. Americans, Black Americans in Democratic safety zones. Chicago, where Jasmine Crockett was in Dallas, South Dallas, was a Democratic safety zones. Now, you're going to have to look in 2026 where your safety is, what did she say? You're going to have to get out of those seats because Black people are waking up and you believe Black will always vote blue no matter who. Did you hear what she said? You believe Black people will always vote blue no matter who. And she said Blacks are not voting blue no matter who in 2026. But that was evident in 2025 when Trump became president and he won the Black vote, the Latino vote. He won all of the vote. And now she's telling you again that when everybody looks at me every day, thank you for that gift, Brianna, thank you for that gift. Blacks are not voting blue no matter who. Blacks in Democratic strongholds, just like Jasmine Crockett, Blacks in Democratic strongholds like Chicago are flipping red. They are flipping red and they are flipping mad. So we are flipping red. Can we say flipping mad, flipping red? Can you say flipping mad, flipping red? Can you say flipping mad, flipping red? Chicago is flipping red because we are flipping mad at Democratic policies. Because we are flipping mad at Democratic policies. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. Double tap, hit the like button. Woo, that MAGA. Woo, that MAGA. Chicago flips red. How many? I said I had some fire. I said I had some fire. I said I had some fire. MAGA red meat. MAGA red meat. Huh? MAGA red meat. How many new people knew about that, huh? How many people knew about that, huh? How about them battleships? You sank my battleship. You sank my battleship. Trump announces Trump-class battleships and Greenland push. Brand new Navy, huh? Brand new Navy, huh? Brand new Trump, brand new Navy, brand new Trump, brand new ships. Let's go. But I think I'm gonna save this, man. Y'all have a good holiday weekend. I want to say thank you. I'm gonna go pick up my wife and go to lunch. I'm gonna make sure I got everything because I don't want to rush. Hey, y'all have a good day. Y'all have a blessed day. Before I get out of here, Trump has 29% poll in. You think you're good? Let me clean up the chat a little bit before we get out of here. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. That was fire. Yeah, man. I'm gonna be back for either Christmas Eve or Christmas. I'm gonna do a fire show for us. I already got the thumbnail. Already got the thumbnail, man. It's gonna be fire, man. It's gonna be fire, man. It's gonna be fire. Please come. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the gifts. We got 1.2 thousand in gifts and 27 in super chats and 187 likes. I want to say thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, the 2026 2026 is going to be, man, red flipping. Shout out to Mike Hurt, FBA 513. 2026, I've been saying it for a week. They're not seeing the writing on the wall. They don't know how to look at MTG not running for Congress. They don't know how to look at Jasmine Crockett not running for Congress. They don't know how to look at Nancy Pelosi quitting. Nancy Pelosi would not quit. But see, Nancy Pelosi fears an investigation from the SEC, and Nancy Pelosi knows that the red wave is coming. I don't know. Thank you, Trump Bunny, for the gift. Nancy Pelosi doesn't want to get investigated because a red wave is coming. Why do Democrats want to lie? There is nobody. Okay, just to be honest about 2026. Right now, the congressional math is 219 to 213. Where do you get the numbers? What bodies? You need, not only do you need numbers, not only do you need 20 people to flip the House, who are those stars? Every time I bring it up, all I want to say is, who are the people that are going to flip the House? You need 10 to 20 people, and you need Republicans to lose. So who are the 20 people who the Republicans lose to and the Democrats win to go from 213 to a majority? Right now it's 219 to 213. So that means you need 7 seats to tie, and you need 8 seats to be in a majority. Where are your 8 people? That's just honest. And you should know, because if you had 8 Democratic stars who were going to win in 2026, you would know their names. You would know their names. No, they're all running. Nancy Pelosi is quitting. Jasmine Crockett can't run for the House. If there were Democratic stars who were going to help flip the House in 2026, you would know their names by now. You would know their names by now. Omar has been saddled with $1 billion Somali fraud. I don't think Omar can win another election. Who thinks Omar wins another election? So if you lose seats, how do you get the House? If you lose Omar, if you lose Jasmine, and if AOC goes to the Senate because she primaries Chuck Schumer, how do you win the House? I see you guys getting less numbers in the House because AOC is leaving the House. Jasmine Crockett is leaving the House. Where do the numbers come from? This is not being mean. I'm not being mean. I'm just telling you the congressional math. You have 219 Republicans, 213 Democrats. I got to go. You guys think about it. Tell me next week, who are the fucking people? Who are the people in your neighborhood? In your neighborhood. Merry Christmas. I'll be back. Omar getting deported. That's a fact. Omar married her brother. Omar allegedly, she's being investigated by Homeland Security for marrying her brother. That's not conjecture anymore. There's actually a real investigation. She's also being investigated about that $30 million. Merry Christmas.